Yeah, sorry for the long episode this week. We just got to talking and just got to rambling, and us talk about football, and we could talk all day. We talked about the AFC playoff picture, the NFC playoff picture, the national championship by the Michigan Wolverines, and then where real things are going to be. We gave our picks for the playoffs, and then we give our guaranteed to be wrong bets. And if you like what we're doing, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you might find your podcast. Welcome to the Number One Sports Podcast in Sanford, Florida. This is Sam Love Sports. I am Matt Capson. I'm here with Dorian Cody.
What up, what up?
And BJ Thomas.
Let's get it.
Let's get it on. So Dorian, before we started, you made a statement to me about the national champion. That even though the team plays in the Big Ten, they look like an SEC team.
They did. They did. I was like I was saying before, like they looked like we talked about that 2014, 2015 Alabama team, how they just able to just ground and pound you to the ground and have that stop defense, man. I was very impressed. So kudos to Michigan.
So and what was funny about last night is most of their rushing yards were in the first quarter, and really just on 3 plays.
They were also playing those Pac-12 defenses we've been talking shit about for 16 weeks. So I'm just saying they won, they deserve it. But how long have all three of us been ragging on Pac-12 defenses?
Yep. Yeah. And so what I thought was interesting is last night is when they went up 17-3, they basically went to a shell. They're like, we know y'all can't score on us, so we're just not gonna try that hard.
I respect the Washington running back though for being out there.
Yes, and I mad respect to not only Dylan Johnson but also Michael Penix, because they both got the crap beat out of them last night and just kept going. Penix looked like that Mean Joe Green commercial from the 70s where he's like limping off the field and the kid gives him a Coca-Cola. Yeah. I mean, he looked like he'd been in a fight. Michigan beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. I didn't know. I mean, I was just impressed by the tackling from Michigan. Where like they weren't missing tackles at all.
No,
they actually looked like an SEC defense, not missing tackles. I was like, wow.
I think they missed probably 2 tackles all game.
Yeah. So do you think it's more? So is it more Michigan's defense or the play calling of Washington? Why Michigan was able to jump to that huge lead?
So I think it was the play calling on the offensive side that opened those gigantic holes for Edwards to run through. Yeah. Because if you look both of those plays, he's not touched
at all.
Even the first one, he hits the wrong hole, bounces out, and goes, "Holy crap! There's no one here."
Yeah.
And then they just kind of stopped with the motion, so they went up 17-3 and just kind of stopped doing the big jumbo fronts because like, what do we care? Washington's not going to score enough points where it's not going to matter.
Yeah. The running game for Michigan opened the door for those nice passes from JJ McCarthy to I can't think of number 1 on Michigan.
Roman Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson. Yep. And because in the beginning I thought that the Washington defense was like, okay, like they knew that Michigan had a running game, but it's kind of like, let's just see. And then when those big runs happen, like, oh shit, like let's try to put 8 in the box. As soon as they put 8 in the box, that's when JJ was able to recognize it and get that play action going. So it was,
and let's not overlook the fact that Sherwin Moore called really 2 bad calls. One was a 3rd and short down low when they were up 14-3. Mm-hmm. That you run a better play call than that. You put your foot in your throat and knock them out. And then the 4th down that allowed Washington to have a short field at the end of the first half. Both of those it was like a short out route. Like, that's not your game. What are you doing?
Yeah. Also, too, thinking of Washington's, I'm gonna flip over to Washington's offense. I don't know if if they were calling conservative plays, but like for example, in the first half, right? Um, I think that if they would have took advantage of getting it to the tight end a lot sooner, not saying they would have won the game, but it would have got them into it. And then Penix, he missed some key throws. I don't know if he was due to injury or what, but he missed Odunze like twice, which is for big yardage. He overthrew. Well, actually, he overthrew a lot of balls last night. I don't know if him to get smacked around was accustomed to it, but I'm not accustomed to seeing him overthrowing his wide receivers. Usually, it's right on the money, but
Well, that's the and we talked about that going into the game last week. Is can Michigan disrupt the timing?
yeah,
Can they get them off a spot? And that's what happened. They disrupted the timing because Jesse Minter is a damn good defensive coordinator,
yeah,
and made him think for half a second. And those throws that he missed because he was not planted properly.
yeah.
You know, like the one to Odunze on the fourth down that he has not missed all season. He missed because he was not planted right because he was shook.
Right.
And as an offensive coordinator for Washington, they did not help that kid out because the one drive that they had that was consistent, it was all short passes. It was all like leak outs. And did that one drive, it's got a touchdown and then didn't go back to it.
Yep. And then the running back with the foot injury, he tried his hardest, but that explosion that he normally has, Michigan was able to get to him in second.
Yep.
So it was like when I saw that, I was like, yeah, this.
And it makes me wonder because I know they put Nixon out there, who was their backup. You know, how much worse was Nixon after over a Hart Johnson? That's on the coaches and so we talked about that with Trevor Lawrence, and we'll get to it when we talk about the NFL. Is if you're hurt, or do you actually do more damage to your team by trying to play through it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and it's kind of like too. It's like if you're a coach, it's your job to save your players from themselves.
Yep.
Right. If you know, like, hey, like you're not explosive. You're especially Michigan. Like as soon as he tried to get to a hole, like they're there clogging the gap. So it's like if he's ineffective, you got to try something different. Man, this is a lot.
And I know there was a talk about Penix hurt his draft stock last night. No, he didn't.
No,
I mean he went against an NFL defensive coordinator who disguises his coverage better than most in college football. And
absolutely.
Penix, while he's been around, he was in the same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence. He couldn't read it, and that's on him. What's going to hurt Penix's draft stock more was not last night's game. That's the fact that he's a left-handed quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I'll put it to you guys: who is the last good left-handed quarterback in the NFL?
Steve Young.
Yep. Steve Young. Right now they have
Michael. I don't know. Michael Vick was pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. He was the last one. Yeah, he was the last one. Right now they have Michael Penix at pick 8 to Atlanta in the mock draft from CBSSports.com. So yeah. So I'm looking here. He's 8 with CBS Sports. Also see here for the Cardinals, someone has him 4th, Michael Penix going to the Cardinals, which that's interesting.
Well, at least he can ride a roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who the team chooses.
So how many more days is Jim Harbaugh going to be your coach?
Well, that's kind of the question. So, I mean, most Michigan fans have kind of resigned themselves to going, hey, look, he brought us a title, the first title since '97, the first outright title in most of our lifetimes since like '48. If he goes to the NFL, great. He's mission accomplished. Go. My thought is coming into today, I thought he was going to take the Chargers job. 100%. I thought he was going to take the Chargers job. Honestly, I could see him taking the Tennessee job or the Chicago Bears job.
I think he's the Raiders coach. He feels like a Raiders coach.
Yeah. He's kind
of a douche.
I could see Mark Davis just backing up the Brinks truck and going, come here, and I'm going to kidnap you until you sign the contract.
Now if Mike McCarthy doesn't make deep run, he could be a Cowboys coach.
How do you feel about that?
I would love that you would have to deal with that. That no matter what, there would be a small part of you rooting for Jim Harbaugh.
That's fair. I mean, he is a Michigan man.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Who brought you a title?
Yeah.
So there'd be a part of you, just a small part of you, just in there, a Cowboys fan. That would be awesome. But on the other hand, something else that made me nervous, Michigan ran the ball so well, and McCarthy had 180 passing yards.
Yeah.
140, but yes.
Thanks for proving my point even further. I'm not sure he's the NFL prospect everybody thinks he is. He was not special at any point this season.
When he was asked to make plays, he made the plays. Now, Michigan's offense by design is not a high-flying, ask the quarterback to make a lot of plays. And the Bama game, he didn't have a lot of yards. I think he had like 250 yards in the Bama game, which is more than he normally does. But when he was asked to make the right play, he made the right play. And honestly, the biggest play of last night's game was not one of the long runs by Edwards. It was not the interception by Sanders Still. It was the one singular third down conversion that Michigan had when they were backed up in their own end zone, and it looked like Washington was going to play the field position game, and McCarthy runs for 30 yards.
I just don't know if game managers go in the first round.
McCarthy needs to go to a team that's established, that does not need him to be a savior. So if he goes to Atlanta, if he goes to Arizona or New England, no, that's not going to work for him. He needs to go to a team that's got a quarterback that's about to retire, that he can sit for a year, and it can just kind of roll with the offense. Honestly, he'd probably be good on the Jets.
Well, I just hope none of that stupid rubs off on him.
That's a lot of stink to rub off on someone.
I'm seeing, even though it's just a mock draft, it's just interesting. I'm seeing that he could go to. Hold on, I just had it up here. Where was it? I just saw it. Hold on. Wow. The Eagles, pick 25, J.J. McCarthy.
That would be a good place for him to go. Now, that actually leads me to a question that is on our rundown. So thank you, Dorian, for setting me up. Who is the most overrated coach of the three that I've got? Nick Sirianni, Bill Belichick, or Doug Pederson?
Sirianni. The other two have Super Bowls.
Yeah.
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 And it great joy to say that too.
Yeah. Man.
I just remember him yelling at people, yelling at players, opposing players, yelling at fans, and it's awful quiet over there now.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And those Philly fans on the internet, they disappeared. It's almost like I got sucked into a black hole or something. I don't know what happened to them.
Oh man.
I just don't know how you let a shitty team like the Cowboys come back and take the division from you like that.
So I mean, let's look at this. So the Eagles' last 6 games: loss,
1-5,
loss, win against the Giants, which they almost vomited away, loss. They were 10-1.
Were.
That's crazy.
I got the Bucks beating them in the playoffs. I put money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I
saw Jalen Hurts' finger out of socket, and I was like, well, that's going to help.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's funny you mention that because the Philadelphia's defense, their secondary has been suspect. And it's
Suspect.
Yeah, well, non-existent.
Toast.
Yeah.
They are toast. 4 pieces of toast.
Yeah. And Mike Evans, he seems revived, and and I think all of their receivers are pretty healthy.
They got like
Godwin,
they got two top 15 receivers on that team.
yeah, and they got the Maverick and Baker Mayfield. Which Baker Mayfield shows up, we'll find out. But
And
Don't know, but it's going to be the
out-
Baker Mayfield that plays against a Matt Patricia defense.
and outside of Christian McCaffrey, possibly the most consistent running back of the season.
yeah,
Rashawn White.
Rashad White, yeah, exactly, yeah,
The Bucks are interesting.
yeah, yeah.
And we're gonna pick the game later on, but
I just did. I picked it with my money. I got a little parlay going.
but the other options in that question aren't too far behind, because in Dougie we trust. Really, Jordan, you want to explain what the hell happened?
Yeah. It started back. I forgot what week it was when the Jags played.
I know when it started. It started when y'all traded Gardner Minshew and drafted Trevor Lawrence. That's exactly when it started.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go back to that. I wish we would have kept Gardner Minshew and let Trevor Lawrence sit out. But again, who was our coach? That says a lot. So fast forward to now. Back in the game when they played against the Niners, they should have took Trevor Lawrence out when he took that hit from Fred Warner, but they didn't. They say he cleared concussion protocol. There's no fucking way he did.
Well, he wasn't playing special before that either.
Right. True. He was doing just enough. Actually, I'll take enough to say the defense, even though we at the time, I think our defense was the top 5 or top 6. Our defense was the one that was holding fort against a lot of those games that we won. But what happened against the Niners smacked us in the mouth. And then ever since that game, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been, it seems as if he's been timid. Even the coaches and a commentator says that in practice, his timing's been off.
And let's not forget the fact they won the next 2 games after that San Francisco beatdown. And Lawrence had 300 and something yards against Houston.
But that was what was that? That was a Houston without C.J. Stroud, right? C.J. Stroud was hurt, and I think they was playing against the backup.
No, Stroud had 300 yards in that game.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
It's been your defense that let you guys down.
Yeah, but if the defense,
dude, you let Ryan Tannehill revitalize his career last week.
Look, Ryan Tannehill has always been a thorn in our ass. Always.
No, that's Derrick Henry that's ever been a thorn in your ass.
Well, that too, but a lot of it.
That's a hammer in your ass.
Huh? Yeah, yeah. You talk about being shafted. But Press Taylor. I'm going to speak on him. So, Trevor Lawrence, he's been, even when he was at Clemson, Debo allowed him to make plays with his legs. This year, I think this year he had the least running plays of the time his tenure with Jacksonville. And I know Press was trying to protect him, but he's not. He's better running out of the pocket, making throws on the run. He could be a pocket for that.
Unless your name is Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick, you need to be a pocket passer in the NFL.
Not necessarily, though. I mean, perfect example. I'll use
Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson.
Right. So they
Aaron Rodgers is pretty damn good rolling out of the pocket.
Right. We in today's NFL, when you have linebackers that can run a 4.4, you got to be able to move the defense somehow to get open. And this year, I don't think he did enough plays to set Trevor Lawrence up for success.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. So yes, rolling out the pocket is one thing. Designed runs are another.
Absolutely.
You do not want unless your quarterback's name is Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick, you don't want your quarterback leading your team in rushing.
Understandable. Exactly. And remember, AK, when we were speaking before we started the show about Jacksonville needing that, like, to be a successful team and be able to go in the playoffs, you have to be able to have some type of 1-2 punch when it comes to of running backs. And Jacksonville, we don't have it. We've been relying on ETN, and he's not a featured back. I mean, he can, if you add him with someone else, he can be successful. But in the NFL, we need another running back to be able to complement someone like a bruiser, someone that can take those hits, like how Detroit has. Detroit has David Montgomery to take those the blunt of the hits, and then Gibbs come in, and Gibbs can get 6-7 yards in the game.
Are y'all gonna draft my boy Blake Corum and break him?
I don't know, but I saw in the chat that I mean, a lot of fans would like to get him, but I don't know if that'll be the case or not. But I mean, I don't think we'll break him, but he can. We need something. It's just been a disappointing season. Like, people been talking shit. I get it, but I mean, they've let the fan base down.
Since when did you start calling us people?
I mean, at the beginning of the season, we did think that they were at least going to be able to win the AFC South, but it was like C.J. Stroud. When I saw those games where he was just killing it, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a long season.
Yeah, and in fairness, when we picked the division winners before the season started, we thought C.J. Stroud, okay, Ohio State quarterback, probably not going to do well in the NFL, and then Indianapolis was starting Anthony Richardson. Gardner Minshew was not a thought.
Right.
Had Richardson not gotten hurt, I don't think the Colts are in the playoffs.
I don't know, man.
So here we are 17 weeks in. CJ Stroud or Trevor Lawrence?
Stroud. Stroud.
So
hands down.
So that right there confirms the fact that was a burnt number one pick.
I can't, my heart won't let me say burnt, but I'll say this. We should have kept Gardner Minshew, and we should have allowed Trevor to sit out again. That's what we should have done. That's what we should have done. But now
you get quarterbacks in the second, third, and fourth round for that.
Yes.
Yeah. you're right. You're right. I mean, we had people in our in the Jaguar chat saying draft JJ McCarthy, try to get Penix. I mean, which they're going to be gone by the time we draft. But it just I don't know. But Dougie P, man, him, for what I read today, he's keeping Press Taylor, and that's not good.
I
we'll be
think
drafting another quarterback next year.
He's got one more mediocre season before he's gone.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll be drafting as long as Press Taylor is calling plays for us. We'll be drafting another quarterback.
Well, you guys had 2 number 1 draft picks back-to-back seasons.
Right, and it looks like we're heading there again. We're going to be losing some key people. I mean, if we were to make the playoffs, we would be able to keep our defensive. No, he's our linebacker. Number 41. I can't think of his name, but he's going to be a free agent after this year. Or this year. Yeah, Allen. Yeah, he's going to be a free agent. So, do we have enough to keep him? Does he want to stay?
Well, I don't know, because you heard Caldwell's kind of lie when he got fired today or yesterday.
Yeah, he got fired yesterday.
You know, he was saying that the problem is still in the building. Now, that could be just disgruntled employee, or that could be a sign of something else.
Who said that?
The defensive coordinator who was fired for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. If I were them, it's if you're banking on Trevor Lawrence, it's time for a complete overhaul of the coaching staff, because it's not working. But if you're going to keep the coaching staff, if I'm the current coaching staff, I'm paying all the other players with the thought that I won't be paying Trevor.
Yeah.
I'm paying the linebackers. I'm paying everybody that's valuable to this team, offensive linemen, linebackers, anybody coming up in the next couple of years. I'm paying him. I'm planning on an option B. He hasn't shown me enough to warrant a max contract.
I agree.
And that was the Detroit model. Is we're going to get Goff in the building. He's going to be not terrible. We're going to build a team around him. And if he's good, great, cool, we'll go with him. But if not, we'll bring someone in. But he'll be set up for success because everything's built here.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Totally agree. Um, but yeah, but at least the one hope that I have is that they were talking about getting I can't think of the guy's name, defensive coordinator. So they got some people in place that they want to for defensive coordinator. What's your guy?
No,
AK.
not
He's from
him.
Detroit.
Okay, I was about to say
He's
no.
Ben
no,
Johnson?
no. Yeah, it's is he the he's he's not the defensive coordinator. He's the
No,
defensive
he's
Offensive.
back.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Who's your it's your linebacker coach, I think. The guy from Detroit. So someone from Detroit, I think I'm
I would
bringing
not
him.
hire anybody from Detroit's defense.
No, that's a recipe for disaster.
I just keep
What?
Doug Peterson sweating out another season.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. They it was a couple of people that they were naming. It was someone from Detroit. It was
They're doing the SEC thing. They're trying to get too cute and find the next big thing. They better hire
yeah,
somebody that can run this team.
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Shit, I'll say Vrabel, but Vrabel's going for a head coaching job. I keep hearing rumors about him in Atlanta.
I'll say this. Tennessee was stupid for firing him.
Vrabel's going to New England.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I can totally see him doing
I mean, I think that was a setup. I think Tennessee just was like, go. You want to go? You want to be there? Go.
that. Yeah.
And Belichick wants him there to replace him. So, and Belichick kind of sounded and coached like he was done. Like,
Well, I don't know.
done.
I don't think that was a setup. I think Tennessee fired him legitimately because he's not been able to do anything with that offense. With a top 10 running back in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 running back in the last 5 years. That offense has been anemic outside of Derrick Henry. So much so that it's actually hampered Derrick Henry in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Is that on him, or is that just on the fact that the front office is sold on Ryan Tannehill or Will Levis?
Well, we don't know that for sure, but I can't believe that any coach in this day and age doesn't have some relationship with the GM and how things go. So I don't know. But as far, I mean, so if the organization is sold on Tannehill, then it's definitely going to be on Vrabel's head to put an offensive coordinator in position and get an offense out of this situation.
Yeah.
Mm.
So either way, I think Vrabel's fired legitimately. It just happens to be the time that Belichick is probably leaving.
So I mean, this head coaching cycle is going to be fun because you've got Vrabel out there, probably going to New England. Belichick is probably done. Like I don't see him taking any job, whether that's the Chargers, whether that's the Dallas job. I think he retires.
Shit, that man's competitive and he's stubborn.
Yeah.
I doubt he sits down. And I feel like this coaching class is putting a shorter leash on Mike McCarthy.
Mm.
One playoff win's definitely not going to cut it.
Now, especially this season, because it's set up for them to have a deep run.
Yeah, we shouldn't see the 49ers until the championship game.
No, I mean, because realistically, if Dallas wins, they'll either see Detroit or whoever comes out of the mess of Tampa or Philly.
So my question is this: Could Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, and Jerry Jones could they coexist for at least a season or two?
I mean, probably. Probably because Jerry's not doing as much of the personnel decisions as he used to. That's up to Will McClay and Stephen Jones.
Mm.
But there's also rumors of Will McClay leaving, which would be more painful to me than anything else.
Yeah, and I think go ahead, BJ. Sorry.
All he does is draft Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
And I think if Harbaugh does take a job in the NFL, I think he's going to want to really kind of have a marriage with the general manager, because he has his pick of wherever he wants to go. And whether he's successful or not, we'll see. He's been successful everywhere else, but he's not going to go to a place like Atlanta or to a place like Washington where it's just a dumpster fire, because he doesn't have to.
Well, what if Arthur Blank gives Harbaugh Bill Belichick like opportunities as far as, hey, you can be GM, you can do this, you can do that. Like, you think he would consider it then? The more power?
I think he'd consider it, but I think you need somebody to be a general manager. I think it's happened a couple of times where they brought in a coach and said, "Okay, coach, who do you want to be the GM?"
Gotcha.
I've seen that happen a couple of times. I know that's kind of been bounced around. Is go to Jim Harbaugh and go, "Okay, if we bring you in, who would you want to be your GM?" So they would pick the players that build your system, but you're out of it so you can focus on coaching.
Have we forgot that Jim Harbaugh, Urban Meyer, the 49ers, when the shit got tough, he bailed? Have we not forgot about that?
Yeah,
he did the exact same thing that Urban Meyer did to the Gators.
Yeah.
As soon as the struggle started, I'm out. Oop, my heart.
Well, and in fairness, Harbaugh didn't go, "Oh, I want to spend more time with the family." He went, "I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to Michigan where I cut my teeth."
One was up front, one was indirect. Either way, he bailed. You can paint the turd however you want, still a turd. You're just defending him because of his colors. But the fact of the matter is, I don't give a fuck who, if he won a national championship, who was it for. When the road got tough, he bailed. That's called a front runner. So if I were whoever's hiring for the front office, I'd be a little wary of that. How many years am I really going to have him?
Well, and let's not forget that Jim Harbaugh rubs people the wrong way. He's quirky. He is weird. He's my coach. He's still a weird person. That shit does not last long in the NFL.
Yeah. Man, this is going to be interesting, this coaching carousel. Good news is that, well, I don't know if it's been announced yet, but I'm interested to see how long Tampa is going to keep Todd Bowles. Because at the beginning of the
season,
season,
better lock his ass up for a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, they have a winning record and a division title with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Exactly. But, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you that the name that you should be watching out for to taking over head coaching jobs, Mike McDonald from Baltimore, the defensive coordinator of Baltimore.
Yeah.
Shit. Dan Quinn's going to be out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for them.
So, BJ, how would you feel about the Cowboys getting rid of Mike McCarthy and making Dan Quinn their head coach?
I'm cool with Dan Quinn. I have no problems with Dan Quinn. He obviously knows how to coach defense. He got he got Matt Ryan to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'd venture to say Dak Prescott's better than Matt Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say the Cowboys are in a better place than the Falcons were when he got them.
Yeah.
I've everything coming out of anything I've read about the Cowboys about Dan Quinn is they love that man. That defense loves him. Micah Parsons said he'll play wherever Dan Quinn is, which is kind of shitty to hear for me.
Yeah, that says a lot.
So I'm fine with Dan Quinn. I like him. If I'm not mistaken, he's a Gator product, isn't he?
I don't know. I'll find out real quick.
I thought he was a defensive coordinator for one of the national championship teams.
2011, 2012.
Just after.
Yes.
Was Dan Quinn ever in Seattle? No, right?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah, he's the Legion of Boom defense coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Gus Bradley's from that tree also, wherever he is. Because Gus Bradley took over that defense when Dan Quinn left for Atlanta.
Yeah, he did. Gus Bradley ended up going to Jacksonville.
But yeah, I'm fine with Dan. Offensively, I'm kind of curious as to who he'd bring in because he had Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta.
That's right. He did.
And that's the, you need coordinators that fit your scheme, that fit what you want to do, and complement each other.
Or you stay on the defensive side of the ball and bring in a coordinator that can handle the whole offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, as a head coach, you should not be doing a unit. You should be managing the team. You should have a great offensive coordinator, a great defensive coordinator, and go from there.
Shit, I'm cool with Dan Quinn running defense. That man scored more touchdowns than the Giants the past 2 years. He single-handedly broke Adam's theory about not being able to rely on turnovers.
Tell me that when they win the Super Bowl.
Nope, that's not what you said. You take that breath again. The Cowboys get average about a turnover and a half a game over the past 3 seasons. I think that's relying on turnovers. Call me crazy.
Yeah, relying on turnovers to win the game.
An extra possession and a half a game. Bet you the Lions would take it.
Shit, the Lions would take any type of semblance of a defense.
No, you guys just go on the field and waste time and then sit on the sidelines.
And I'm not going to say the NFL scripts anything because I'm not, tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. But the first round of the playoffs were kind of sneaky good. You got Mike McCarthy going against the Green Bay Packers, and Matthew Stafford, who couldn't win a playoff game in Detroit, going to go back to play a playoff game in Detroit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Great narrative, though. I mean, the NFL is going to milk this.
Oh, yes.
2 historic franchises and the Packers and Cowboys going against each other. And then you got the prodigal son coming back to Detroit.
I can't wait to see all that Miami Dolphins team speed try to figure it out in -5-degree Kansas City.
Yeah.
How are you going to run like that when your hamstring's solid?
Exactly.
And the funny thing about that is none of us will probably actually watch that game because it's on Peacock.
Shit me, I'm going to use the 7-day trial up and then cancel it.
Oh, I checked. They don't have a trial anymore. I checked.
I'm looking. I'll find it. Groupon. There's something. But the NFL's actually, we should all boycott that game. That should be the lowest rated game of the season.
It will be because no one's going to have Peacock.
They don't get any stupid ideas. I'm serious. We should put that down into like the 100,000s of viewers. We should motivate that. We should make the NFL hate us.
Well,
it's a stupid idea.
It is a stupid-ass idea.
Why are you going to take something and what drove me nuts is I paid $339 for the fucking Sunday ticket, and one game was on Peacock, and I had to download that stupid ass app.
Well, and that's the problem is it was like $250 on with YouTube TV with their deal, and now you can't get a playoff game because it's on another streaming service. That's a bigger problem.
That's crazy.
I mean, you would think that if I spent $250 to watch all of the games on YouTube TV, that they just say, okay, yes, for everyone else, this game is for Peacock and NBC, go have fun. But you purchase the Sunday ticket, you get these games.
Right.
Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
But
it's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins are going to be able to move the ball.
They are who we thought they were.
I told Adam in the group chat earlier. The Chiefs use more power than the Dolphins do. The Dolphins rely on speed. In the cold, you can keep your power. That speed's going to take a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So pretty much, Isaiah Pacheco should have about 154 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
-5.
I'm waiting to see BJ's player parlay.
Oh, I'm not touching that game. I'll tell you what. I avoid all major weather events. I don't know. There's a strategy to my madness.
It's been working for you.
I'm up. I will say that I'm up. Not much, but I also have like 7 bets out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still up with 7 bets out. I already did my first round parlay. That'll pay like $260 if it hits. But I avoided a few games. They're like, nope, not that one.
And that's the smart way to bet. Again, not advocating gambling because whatever.
Oh, fuck it. They shove it down your throat every day on TV. We can talk about gambling. I'm not dodging it.
But yeah, you don't have to pick every single game. It's not an office pool. Pick the games that you're comfortable with. Stay away from the games that you're not, and go from there. Because when you start picking games you're not comfortable with, you're just giving them money. And those skyscrapers in Vegas are not built on people making smart decisions.
Nope, morons. Morons. And my favorite are the people that hit and then sit wherever they are and keep going. It's like, no, get up, go, leave.
Nope.
Come back later.
Go. Yep.
At least at the very minimum, take what you spent out of your pocket and keep that, and then play with whatever you want. I'm cool with that, because then you'll just be back at whatever you started with, which is perfectly fine. That's a perfectly fine strategy to me. If you want to gamble your winnings, that's found money. Go right ahead.
Yep.
But if you just keep going negative, idiot.
This time I'm going to be successful. No, you're not. No, that's not how this works.
All right, so the first round, I have the Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Cowboys, Lions, and Buccaneers.
And for those who haven't been paying attention, BJ does not pick against the spread.
No, I don't. I'm actually doing pretty good. Pretty solid. I didn't do the last week, so I was 151-90 for the season. Just picking the money line or whatever?
Yeah, straight up money line.
Straight up money line. That's it. So we'll see. As you can see, I avoided games because I didn't want to do it. That's why.
So we'll pick the games in a little bit, but is there a team in the AFC? We'll start there first. Is there a team in the AFC that is playing this weekend that you could see going to the Super Bowl? And for reference, we're talking Miami, Kansas City, Cleveland, Houston, Pittsburgh, or Buffalo.
Laugh all you want. The Cleveland Browns. Defense, running game, and goddamn Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Same here. Cleveland. I'm curious to see what Buffalo is going to do with Lenny Fournette, playoff Lenny. I'm curious to see yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to implement the 2-back system with him and with
Josh Allen. No, I'm sorry. Oh, they have another running back.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that's going to come into play. But yeah, I agree, BJ. Cleveland, one of those teams where like I think they're playing with house money because they're like people didn't expect us to even make the playoffs when Sean Watson got hurt, and now we have a legit top, in my opinion, top 5 tight end in David Njoku, who's playing out of his mind in a defense that's sticking it to these offenses. Man, they're scary. I would not want to face them if I'm Baltimore.
They're the Cleveland fucking Browns who have started 5 quarterbacks this season.
Right. You're right.
No one expects anything out of them.
But
Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, man.
Yeah.
My
he was sitting on his couch.
My upcoming bets would say different.
And if you're Baltimore, like, do you want to go against Cleveland? Like, you're going to somebody in your division that you have the potential to play them 3 times. What? No.
It would be three
twice.
times.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, you playing them 3 times. 3 times.
And I want to say Cleveland won at least one game. Yeah, Cleveland beat them when Flacco was playing.
Yeah, they beat them in Baltimore, right? Was it a Baltimore?
Beat them in Baltimore. I'm sorry, that was Deshaun Watson that beat them.
Okay.
Yeah, now they got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they got a quarterback. Yeah. So that's going to be that's going to be interesting. So I know Baltimore is like hoping for Houston to win. They're hoping for Houston to win.
So I'll ask the same question for the NFC. Of the 6 teams that are playing this weekend, the Rams, Detroit, Green Bay, Dallas, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Is there a team out of those 6 that you guys can think can make a run to the Super Bowl?
I mean, the obvious teams are like, Dallas and San Francisco. Like
I know I said playing this weekend. San Francisco's out.
Oh, playing this weekend, right. Playing this weekend. Outside of Dallas, man, I don't. Tampa could be I mean, either Detroit. Well, I'm gonna say Tampa.
BJ, is that face because of his pick, or did you just let a shart out? What was that?
I might have sharted too, but I think the Bucks could beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
but the Super Bowl.
I mean,
again, you got a better chance of suck starting a diesel than the Bucks making a Super Bowl.
For what I'm saying, like I'm talking about one of those teams. Like for me, no team is dangerous to the team that's playing with house money. That hey, we're not even supposed to be here. Let's just go all out. Compared to a team that's like for instance, the Cowboys are expected to go to NFC Championship or Super Bowl. Compared to the Bucks, like the Bucks not even supposed to be there. So a team playing with house money, those teams scare me.
So I will tell you this: my pick for the team that scares me playing this weekend from the NFC. The Rams. And here's why it's not just this week. Okay.
He's just setting counteracting the okie doke. That's all he's doing.
Well, okay, follow me here. So, hey, I didn't have the bad juju that you said I was gonna have with Michigan last week, so we got that. Y'all pick Washington, just for the record. So the Rams play at Detroit this week. Okay, Stafford going back to Detroit. If the Rams win, they're going to have a game against a divisional opponent, San Francisco, that they always give fits to.
Yeah.
It is possible that they can win that game, and then they'll have the winner of Dallas or Philly or Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's my pick.
Yeah, put around. Their running back is a stud too, Kyron Williams.
Yeah, and Dorian used to talk about playing with house money. Coming into the season, actually halfway through the season, who thought the Rams were going to do anything?
Right, well, we didn't. I know I didn't. And shout out to Puka Nacua, man. He actually won me one of the fantasy leagues I was in. So shout out to him. But I didn't realize he's 6'3", 215 and runs a 4. I think he said 4.4. That dude is a speedster.
So, BJ, do you have a team you want to add to this conversation?
Nope.
He's not saying it.
Nope.
You know he wants to say the Cowboys, man. Just go ahead and say it.
Shit, if it's been any year, it'd be this year. I don't know about before or after, but Dak's been the most efficient he's been that I can remember.
Yeah.
Maybe since the first season.
Yeah.
And that defense keeps dealing with injuries and still strong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, Dorrance Armstrong is on the Jaguars' radar. Just so you know. You guys don't need him. We need him.
Y'all need help.
We need everything.
Y'all need milk.
We need fucking everything, but
you know what? I'd say you just go back to like 80s wrestling days and just start doing cocaine.
Why not?
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Linemen, linebackers. I mean, you're in Jacksonville. You're close to Miami. You shouldn't be stepped on too much by the time y'all get it.
Right. 95 South.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that'd take motivation out of it. You wouldn't have to worry about motivating anybody. You could just focus on game plan.
It's
If we
just
were to
focus. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem would be is getting everybody to the stadium on time.
Yeah.
If I learned anything from paying attention to Lawrence Taylor, it'd be getting him to the stadium. Once you got him there, game over.
Yeah, his character in Any Given Sunday, I don't think was a character. I think it was just him.
Yeah, who's him?
They're like, Lawrence, when's the last time you did cocaine? It's been years. What about one time for old time's sake? Let's do this movie right.
I get to see it now. So Lawrence, tell us one of the craziest stories. Well, I stacked this guy's car.
Yeah, he's I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas to make the Jacksonville Jaguars relevant because they're working backwards from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, totally.
We don't have to go back into that conversation. I want to make you sad.
Too late.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. You know what? I had at work. I had a Steelers fan buy me lunch today. He was like, "Hey, bro, thanks you, man. I appreciate it." I was for it. He said, "Because of your fuck up, we're in the playoffs." I said, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and have those wings." So yeah, man, I was bought lunch from a Steelers fan today.
The Colts tried to give it to you.
Yeah, they did.
The Colts really tried to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw an article today that Mike Tomlin might just resign. It's like, you know what?
I hope he does. I hope he does. Takes a year off and then coaches the Bengals or something, just to play the Steelers twice a year. Back, this is what you're missing, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Just shit. Bengals fans are like, oh, I get Mike Tomlin or Zach Taylor. Zach, get your shit, get out. Go.
Damn, that's crazy though. Who would they? It's like they're so used to having coaches with like long tenures there. Losing Mike Tomlin, I can't imagine who they would get to coach.
Yeah, I mean, because they went from Chuck Noll to Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
they'll probably bring back Todd Haley.
Really?
I'm being sarcastic.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's a reach for them. Let's see. That'd be interesting. They'll be desperate to have Joey Porter as their head coach.
I'm gonna fight somebody, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe they'll just pick up, Eberflus from Chicago when he leaves.
Ooh, they really want to drive their franchise to the ground.
Yeah, and I know we just made Dorian depressed, but I'm going to make all the Chicago Bears fans depressed. Y'all need to get rid of Justin Fields.
Why are you kicking people that have been down for 30 years? Jeez. That's dirty. I mean, they've literally been down since we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they had that one good year with Rex Grossman.
Yeah, Rex Grossman was like, somebody's down there, fuck it. And it was just going downfield.
Yeah. Fuck it. It's not.
And how'd that turn out?
Not good.
Got him to the Super Bowl.
So rumor has it that the Bears may be trading with Washington. So Washington can get the first pick, and then they get the second pick, and they pick up Marvin Harrison.
I heard that old Magic Johnson was going after Jim Harbaugh too.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that Washington wants Harbaugh, and that goes back to my point earlier is Harbaugh wants to go to a team that's got a good GM, and they don't have a good GM, and is set up to win now. Washington's not.
They might give him that Belichick package Dorian was talking about. Yeah. You pick the GM.
You pick the GM, yeah.
What's he gonna do? Get Trent Baalke again?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm fucking cool with that. Totally cool.
Look, you gotta sign Trevor Lawrence. Trust me.
So, but I mean, if you're Chicago, I mean, do you trade Fields? Take, and I don't know what you would get for him, but I mean, if you trade him and try to get like the first, the fifth, and then the eighth pick in this year's draft.
I would. I read that they were thinking about trading with Atlanta because Atlanta may be interested in Fields.
That'd be an interesting combo with Justin Fields and B. John Robinson. Because Fields can't throw it more than 10 yards, but he won't have to.
Yeah. I know.
That would cripple that man's career.
Yeah. I know Kyle Pitts voiced his concern one side of Atlanta. They said that he's definitely open to trade.
Okay. And now, Pitts is an interesting scenario because he's gone to Atlanta and been shit, and he was supposed to be a generational talent at tight end. So, is it him? Is the fact that he hasn't had a good quarterback?
That's what I think. Because I think if you put Kyle Pitts on like a what I say, you could put him on like Green Bay. You put him on the Jets with
Man,
Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll do some damage.
it's play design, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't know you how to use a tight end. Have you ever drafted a Green Bay tight end fantasy football? No, you know better.
No.
The last one that was decent was Jermichael
That's
Finley.
correct.
Aaron Rodgers does not know how to use
That's
a
true.
tight end.
That is true.
It's got to be play design, because if I'm Desmond Ritter and I'm trying to save my career, I am force feeding Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Force feeding him. I will throw it
Absolutely.
to him in triple coverage and make him jump and die.
Yep. Correct.
No, there's no way. In my opinion, it's got to be play design or coaching. Like, is Kyle Pitts the third read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
What is it? Drake London, Bijan out of the backfield, and then Kyle, and then Pitts?
Yeah.
No, it should be Pitts, London, London, Pitts.
Right. Totally agree.
Some combination of that. I mean, this guy is what, 6'5" and runs a 4.4
Mm-hmm.
at tight end.
Yep.
You've already wasted his whole rookie season. And first 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
These guys' career average like 4 or 5 years. You're killing me.
Yeah.
So, I have a scenario for you. Okay. If you're Atlanta and the Chargers call up and say, we'll give you Herbert for the 8th pick, who says no?
Do they have a choice? I do it for Herbert in the NFC South.
What has Herbert not had in San Diego that he would be gaining in Atlanta?
Don't say coaching.
Right.
He's had
saying
he's had a top 10 running back.
Yep.
A top 10 wide receiver when healthy.
Yep.
A solid, probably a top 10 number 2 receiver.
Yep.
In Mike Williams.
He had a top 10
$100 million defense, getting the ball back.
Yeah.
What's he gaining by going to Atlanta? What's going to make his life better?
No, if I'm Atlanta, I'm making that trade.
No, but if I'm Atlanta's GM, I'm like, what are we providing Herbert to be more successful? Is that worth it to me than drafting a project?
True.
Because, I mean, I could totally see the Chargers at number 5 going, we're going to get one of his quarterbacks, Justin, get out, and trade him to a team that's QB desperate just to get 2 cracks at it.
Yeah. I think they like Herbert. They're definitely gonna have to figure out as far as another person another receiver that's going to complement Keenan Allen. Even though Keenan Allen
they tried that with Quentin Johnson. How'd that work out?
Right, exactly. He's not working out, so they're going to have to get him someone else or draft a tight end like Brock Bowers to help out in the passing game. Oh, you know what? That'd be pretty decent though. Herbert and Bowers with Keenan Allen.
assuming Allen stays on the field, assuming Mike Williams doesn't break down halfway through the season.
Right. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think what the Chargers need isn't really so much of a good quarterback. It's just need a good training staff.
Yeah. Exactly. They got the medical staff from they got James Woods' character from Any Given Sunday as medical staff.
Got hurt falling off the bench. Well, wasn't the training staff for the Chargers the one that damn near killed Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah, stabbed his lung.
Yeah. Glad to see him at least playing again. Ooh, man,
Yeah.
that's scary.
That's how Herbert started, by the way. Herbert's first start was because Tyrod Taylor almost died on the field. His medical incompetence.
No, I thought they got him. I thought he hit him with a shot in the training room and punctured a lung.
Yeah, it may have been the training room, not the field, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm gonna sue his ass.
I just think somebody teaching shots and how to give them and stuff would be like, here's a lung, don't do that. Here's a heart, don't go there.
Exactly. Like, you're just so long, you'll be fine.
You know what? Let's be safe. Just give them all in the ass. Right in the ass cheek, just right in the muscle. Fuck it. Don't worry about it.
So, you boys ready to make some playoff picks?
Let's go.
Do I have a choice? Dorian can just do this all willy-nilly because he's not going to put any juju on his team. It doesn't matter.
Hey,
at least your team's in the fucking playoffs.
Hey, I said last week that at least two of our teams would be in the playoffs, and I was correct.
Yeah, you're definitely correct.
So for those who are scoring at home, and if you are, God bless you. But Dorian leads 51-37. I'm 42-46. Beatty is 35-53 against the spread.
Ooh, the spread hates me. I hate the spread.
So I booked this up. We'll do AFC first, and then we'll do NFC. Okay. So start with the Peacock game. Miami, Kansas City. Kansas City's a 3.5-point favorite. That spread came out before the forecast, so it may change.
I got Kansas City bullying a team built on speed in super cold weather.
Dorian?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kansas City. The Dolphins lost two key pieces on defense, man.
Shit, man. Even if the weather was nice, I'd go Kansas City. Miami has not shown me anything against quality competition.
Gotcha.
Next up is Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. Cleveland's a 2.5-point favorite.
Going with the Browns.
Dorian?
Cleveland. Yeah, I'm going with Cleveland Browns.
You got Joe Flacco versus CJ Stroud. Joe Flacco. I'm going with the experience.
He's from Michigan. I mean, he's from Ohio State.
He's from Ohio State. He never beat Michigan.
That's right, he didn't.
So next up is Pittsburgh versus Buffalo.
And that's what Adam was hanging his hat on until yesterday. Man, Pittsburgh's defense has been playing better, but yeah. I just trust Josh Allen more than I trust Pittsburgh.
And the thing is, like, the spread is 9.5.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna say the Bills win, but they don't cover. So I guess Pittsburgh.
Dorian?
It's hard to bet against Tomlin, but Mason Rudolph is the quarterback. I don't trust him.
Better than Trubisky.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is 9-3 in games that Trubisky does not play at least a half. So your whole Mason Rudolph thing, 9-3 when they don't have the anti-talent that is Trubisky. I'm taking the points with Pittsburgh.
The black hole of football.
So over to the NFC, you got the Rams versus the Lions. Detroit is a 3-point favorite for reasons unknown to mankind.
This is one of the hardest games to pick, in my opinion.
It's tough.
I feel like this is much closer than it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I'm going to go with the Rams.
Dorian?
Ooh. The Rams has been playing better.
My thing is with the Rams, sorry,
No, go ahead.
multiple receivers. Matthew Stafford has been improving now that he's healthy. And Detroit's defense, especially their pass defense, is garbage.
Yeah, it is garbage.
Not
Yeah,
to
I'm
mention, I didn't bring up Kyron Williams.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm taking the Rams.
And none of this is a shot at Adam. I'm sure Adam agrees with most of what I said.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with you. And Detroit's pass defense makes Justin Fields and Jordan Love look fantastic because they're just terrible. And Stafford's going to take advantage of it. Now, the Rams are 7-1 in their last 8 games. Talking about playing with house money.
Yeah.
And honestly, if anyone knows how to get in the head of Jared Goff, it's Sean McVay. So I'm going with the Rams.
I totally forgot about that. McVay was his coach. So he knows him.
Yeah, McVay broke Goff. So
It's also hard.
the next one is Green Bay and Dallas. Dallas is a 7.5-point favorite.
Cowboys win, but don't cover.
Dorian?
Oh, Cowboys. I see Cowboys beating them at least 10 points.
Shut up.
I'm just saying, they got the defense to do it, man. You good.
What did Josh Allen think about that defense?
They're not going against Josh Allen. They're going against Jordan Love.
Still, though, that was ugly.
So I'm going to go with you. I think Dallas wins. I don't think they win by more than a touchdown. I think it's probably a 4 or 5 point game. So I'm going Green Bay with the points. Now, granted, I'm agreeing with BJ, and both of us are below 500. And Dorian's kicking our ass. So
Yeah,
I mean,
so just bet with Dorian. Don't bet with us.
and this last game is probably the toughest game to pick. Philly versus Tampa. Philly is a 2.5-point favorite.
All I see in my head is Jalen Hurts' finger on his throwing hand. Did it pop back in? Yes. He's still going to have to squeeze that football 7 days after it happened. I'm going with the Bucks for the reasons stated earlier, the receivers, the running game.
Isn't A.J. Brown hurt?
Well, I think he could have returned last week, but they just left him out due to the situation of the Giants putting a whole foot in their ass.
Yeah, I was watching the score going, Philly's going to be 11-6 and have a negative point differential. Now, I think their point differential, is like a +5 or something stupid.
Eagles fans are blaming the offensive coordinator.
I'm blaming the defensive coordinator.
They got coordinator issues.
Yes. They have coaching issues all around.
Which is a coaching issue, yes.
Dorian?
Tell him how it's going to go, Dorian.
I'm going to get your cousin, and I'm going to post this to him.
He going to cuss me out. But
He would do that anyway, so don't really.
Right. I know, right? Yeah. AJ Brown. That's concerning. But I'm going with the Bucks. I think we're gonna see a Baker Mayfield that's gonna be playing out of his mind. Now the next round they probably get their ass stomped, but this round I think he's gonna tear it up.
Yeah, I can't get over the fact that Philly is 1-5, limping into the playoffs.
Literally.
That's not a recipe for success. It's just not.
As Cat Williams said, gnarled fingers.
Yeah. I mean, as much as it pains me to go Baker Mayfield in the NFL playoffs, I'm going to say Baker Mayfield wins a playoff game. I don't know.
It's at Tampa.
Yeah.
That's a big help. They don't have to go up to Philly and play in that frigid weather.
Yeah, and Philly had the division in hand.
Oh, yeah.
In hand. All they had to do was not shit in that hand, and they would have had the division.
You shit in both hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they put the toddler like shit in both hands, rubbed it on the wall, and went, "Hey, look, I made an art project."
Yes. That's when you get a cattle prod.
Man, that loss to the Cowboys they had that they weren't the same since. You know,
Nope.
I just think that some teams, man, like they just, once you lose to a certain team, especially a team that's familiar with you, like it could take a toll on a team's psyche.
Well, it all started when they got just shit canned by the 49ers before they lost to Dallas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and
yeah.
But the problem is, we were saying this even before that happened. Is Philly was high in our power rankings by default because they were 8-1, 9-1, 10-1. So like, well, we can't really take them out because they're 10-1. But they were not playing good football, and it finally caught up to them.
Yeah. So I asked you guys this question. Would you take Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence?
Do I have an option C?
Nope. You gotta take one.
I'd like to resign my position as GM.
Damn, was that bad?
I will be working for NFL Network as an analyst.
Can I be Mike Mayock?
I mean, I didn't attempt to unalive myself. I just resigned my position, so it's not that bad.
Damn.
I mean, can either one of them read defense consistently? And we don't know about Trevor Lawrence because you're lacking offensive linemen that you could have drafted with the first round pick you spent on him.
Yeah.
Because you could have traded down, probably gotten a first and a second or a first and a third, and spent both those on offensive linemen.
But don't worry, when Urban was there, Dorian said that they had the offensive line taken care of.
I
had that on tape, by the way.
I was bamboozled.
Yeah. Just because Urban did, you can't grab everything like a bowling ball. You gotta focus. You gotta.
Dude, I was thinking of.
You were hypnotized. You were hypnotized. No, you were hypnotized. All you saw was Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez waving a pistol, and you saw the Pouncey twins. Like you thought shit was sweet.
I
like
did.
he's close to Gainesville. Maybe he can suck some of that magic up the road.
Yeah, I did. I jumped the Urban Meyer Kool-Aid.
I believe when it happens to a girl, it's called dickmatized. You were dickmatized.
Fucking, I ain't going that far. That was a good one. Yeah, I regret that.
Yeah, because there was like weeks of him fucking shit up, and you're like, no, it's fine. You were dickmatized. You're like, woo, no, it's good. Everything's good. It's great. It's wonderful. It's fine.
He kicked the kick, and that was the last straw. Damn, you gonna kick Lambo?
He cheated on me. No, he didn't.
That's another fucking kick. Boom. Kick your ass.
So Dorian,
death row shit. Yeah.
And to answer your question, so one quarterback has 3,858 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. The other one has 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. I feel like it's the meme from The Office. Tell me the difference from these. It's the same fucking picture.
No. It's the Spider-Man meme where they're just pointing at
each other.
Hey,
you guys gotta give us an answer though.
Seriously, the hell I do. I can go on to the next subject. You ask terrible questions, I can act like they don't happen. At least Jalen Hurts can run.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll say that. But can we just talk quickly? Now, I don't know if we covered this a couple of weeks ago, but if we didn't, it really needs to be talked about now that the season's finally over. Why all of a sudden the Dak Prescott's not involved or interception's not a problem?
Mm.
Josh Allen's buttload of interceptions. Jalen Hurts buttload of interceptions. Mahomes, I believe, is top 10 in interceptions.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's number 4 actually.
Ooh, top 5. So why is it all of a sudden not a problem? Anybody care to answer that question?
I think you asked it on social media, and you had people that were getting mad at you because they can't read.
For those people that are new to our social media and podcasts and aren't used to my responses, eat a dick. No, but seriously, why is it not a problem all of a sudden for all these other quarterbacks to throw 10 plus interceptions? And then Dak, whether you like it or not, look at the stats, has an MVP season and nobody's talking about him for that award.
Yeah.
And I want to say Dak is the only one that I can see that has a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
That's the first time I've heard his touchdown to interception ratio brought up this season.
I take that back. So the only other one that that's on the list that's got a better touchdown to interception ratio. Yeah, it looks like there's
Cousins?
one. Nope, not Cousins.
Joe Flacco.
No.
No, Joe has like 7 or 8 interceptions already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? Who's playing good quarterback?
So the only quarterback that I can see on this list, and this I'll probably correct this if I actually do the research, that has a better touchdown interception ratio than Dak Prescott, CJ Stroud.
How many touchdowns does he have?
23.
That's a lot less than 30 something.
Yeah, but only 5 interceptions. So the ratio is still better.
How many attempts?
He has 499 attempts.
How does Dak have?
590.
I'd like to see what happened to those other 100 attempts. Considering that's like 3-4 games, depending on the situation.
Yeah, Dak played 2 more games.
Which, by the way, 50 attempts a game is not realistic. So that's probably about 3 games of attempts.
Yeah, no, I think Stroud was knocked out for a half. So you're talking about 2.5 games. So that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably on par to have similar stats.
So, and while we're talking about it, do you guys know who led the league in touchdown passes?
Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an MVP season and nobody's talking about it because he's Dak. Because he came back too early with a broken thumb on his throwing hand last year and tried to play football.
So I will say that he was correct. He said that he would not throw 10 receptions this season.
9.
That is true. He threw 9.
Kid did exactly what he said he was going to do. Played much better football. Has CD Lamb looking like offensive player of the year material.
Yeah.
He's on the ballot for sure. He's got to be in the top 3. McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, and CD Lamb is my guess.
So every statistical category that I've pulled up, he's top 2 or top 3.
But last year, they literally tried to hang the guy in the media.
Yeah.
Because he came back too early from a broken thumb.
Yeah.
You ever hold one of those NFL footballs?
They're thick and they got wax on them.
It's like trying to throw a mini keg. And then on top of that, let me smash your thumb with a hammer and then come back as soon as you can and then try to throw it. He wasn't ready and he tried. He tried to lead his team. Made some bad decisions, sure. Forced some passes, okay. But he's not a turnover machine traditionally. So it's just frustrating that all of a sudden we aren't talking about turnovers. When Lamar Jackson is the MVP leader, and how many yards does Lamar have compared to Dak? Dak's got like 4,500, I think.
What if Dak has 4,500, Lamar Jackson
36?
3678.
That's 900 yards.
Yeah, and as we've been talking, I'm kind of going through the stats, and literally, like, Dak is top 3 in completion percentage, top 3 in yards, top 2 in touchdown to interception ratio, top 2 in QBR.
What does the media have against this guy?
He plays in Dallas.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because other than that, if he went any other team, anybody would take Dak to be a quarterback. Anybody.
Yeah, that's why when the Cowboys fans are, I'm done with Dak. Like, really? Who are you going to replace him with?
You can replace him, right? I remember we talked about it. Yeah.
A 40-year-old Kirk Cousins? I mean, that's what it's looking like in the offseason.
always needs to be the question is, if you want to get rid of this guy, whether it's a coach, quarterback, cornerback, running back, whomever, who are you going to replace them with?
Your bad ideas, typically.
Yep. And Dorian, when we started this podcast, you asked me that question about Jim Harbaugh because Michigan was coming off the COVID year. And I asked that same question. Who is Michigan going to replace him with?
I remember. And it wasn't, I think we didn't have any good candidates at all.
And that's the and to his credit, he went, I'm getting rid of Don Brown, getting rid of the blitz scheme, I'll be able to actually cover a crossing route. I'm going to go back to my roots. I'm not going to go the spread offense. I'm just going to power run game my way to a championship.
I need to go around the county and ask Gator fans, who would you rather have, Billy Napier or Dan Mullen?
I would say probably 80% would say Dan Mullen.
I would think so. That was a stupid firing. And you know, people say Dan Mullen quit. Maybe the AD told him, look, the end is near.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe he's just like, all right, fuck it, then you recruit.
Yeah.
So there's no telling what goes on behind closed doors. It's like a divorce. There's one thing you can't do in a divorce is pick sides.
No.
You don't live with a couple. You don't know the whole story. You never will. So I don't know, but what I do know is this. It's the same thing in Pittsburgh. You want to fire Tomlin. Who the hell are you going to replace him with?
Right.
It's the coaching search is really a needle in a haystack.
Mm-hmm.
And the haystack only gets bigger.
Yeah. You know, you're going to bring in Josh McDaniels. Good luck with that.
Yeah, you think Belichick's going to coach Pittsburgh? And that doesn't fit with Pittsburgh's ideals either. Like, they try to find coaches that'll be there long term. Belichick's got what? 5 years at best.
Tops.
That's if he finds a great situation. So that's my rant. That's all I got. Had to get it out. It's like a turd. Had to get it out.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about the Pittsburgh coaches. So they've had 3 coaches since 1969. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Like, there are teams right now that are paying 3 coaches.
Mm-hmm.
The only possibilities that I would even consider right now are Stefanski, probably not going to happen. O'Connell, probably not going to happen. Or McVay. I just don't see Kyle Shanahan leaving the 49ers, but that would be the 4th. Those would be the 4 people, if I were the Pittsburgh ownerships, that I would throw a bag at to get them to come over.
Yep.
Because I think they have 10 years in them.
And if you're a head coach in the NFL, you're not going to leave for another head coaching job willingly.
I don't know. If I was Stefanski and I lived in Cleveland, I would definitely swap that out for Pittsburgh. That's an upgrade.
Yeah. Shanahan's not going anywhere. Him and John Lynch have a special bromance. They're not going anywhere.
I'd throw money at O'Connell, though, too. I like him. I like what he did in Minnesota. For them to be relevant after losing their starting quarterback and then the best receiver in football for 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks.
I think, Jefferson was out 6.
Yeah.
You know what? Dan Quinn fits Pittsburgh's mentality. Easy.
Come on. Like, I know he might leave, but I don't need him going to one of the enemies. He's not allowed to go to the 49ers, the Redskins, the Giants, the Eagles, or the Steelers. That's where he's not allowed to go.
Okay. And it's funny because you brought up the name of the Washington football team. So I was doing a Facebook ad for a social media page today. And they said, hey, who do you want to target? And I went, fans and this, NFL, and sort of listing the NFL teams that we could target. Yeah, Facebook still calls them the Washington Redskins, so fuck all y'all.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fucking Starbucks holding Uggs wearing white people are the one who got upset about the Redskins being called the Redskins. I highly doubt it was Native Americans that got upset about the Redskins being called the Redskins.
Weren't there a group of Native Americans that was getting paid from the Redskins being called the Redskins? Something like that. I read.
I don't know, but the actual logo was of an actual Native American.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And I think the family of that actually, I thought I read something that they were getting paid.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I do know that they were in the poll among Native Americans, asking them if they wanted them to change the name, and they went no. And it was like 90% no.
Yeah, yeah, because it's an honor. They were like, paying homage.
Fuck you, white people.
That needs to be said more often.
Or just fuck you, white people?
Yeah, I think that needs to be more prominent in our society.
Yeah, I think it sounds a little bit better coming from you guys.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Are you sure, Dorian?
I was gonna buy you one of those "Shut Up, Honky" shirts. I just didn't know how much you'd actually wear.
Due to unfortunate events, I won't be able to say that.
Oh, come on. Hey, we talked about a couple episodes ago about reclaiming words, so you can reclaim that one too.
Yeah, I wanted you to wear it at work.
You trying to ruin my career? Gotcha. Okay.
Well, look, I'm just saying the people that claim that they aren't snowflakes, it'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah,
That's true.
Are you soft or are you not soft? Do you have a sense of humor? Because you claim to have a sense of humor. This would be a key time to exercise that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know why anybody would get offended by honky anyways. I'm pretty sure George Jefferson Sherman Helmsley invented that.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think. Hold on, science time.
Bill, not the science guy. Yeah, I know.
Nope.
Oh, that didn't.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It was not George Jefferson. He just made it popular. Honky was adopted as a pejorative in 1967 by Black Power militants. Nope.
Oh, wow.
Do not wear that shirt.
Exactly. Especially where I am, where every other truck says "Let's go, Brandon." I don't think that'll be a good day for me at all. Yes, I'm a proceed with caution on that.
Jeez, those stickers scream of Mick Ultra campfires and circle jerks.
I'd say Bud Light, but brought to you by Modelo. It's the same shit.
No, they don't have the testicles to drink Bud Light. It's too heavy. They have to drink Ultra Light. This is a thing. They're really drinking Ultra Light now.
Yeah,
I can drink more and I don't feel bloated. Your fat stomach is what makes you feel bloated, not the beer.
What about White Claw?
That belt buckle stabbing you on the underside of your belly button, that's what makes you feel bloated.
PSA to all married men out there, if your wife says, "Does this dress make you look fat?" do not say no, but your ass does.
PSA to all married women out there, walk by the mirror first so you don't have to ask stupid questions. It's a setup. It's a setup. Because then you're like, no, you look great. You don't mean that. Well, fuck, don't ask me. Just don't ask me. Don't ask me. Because do I want to say that material is testing the limits of its engineering? Possibly. Possibly, that's in my head. Will I say it to you? No. But then I try to say the polite thing. I don't know. I mean, do you want me to let you go out of the house with your camel toe showing? Do you not want me to tell you that the jeans are so tight I can see what you had for breakfast? No, but these are things. Like, I had a girlfriend, like, every time she put a piece of clothing on, does this make me look fat? No. Yes, it does. Okay.
Whatever you say.
Whatever you say.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a bed sheet over there if that'd make you feel better. Just wear a dashiki the rest of your life. We don't have this fucking conversation anymore. Isn't that what they're called?
Yeah.
Or kimono, whatever you feel like.
So, Before we give any more unsolicited advice, I think we'll wrap it up for the night.
No, this is the end of football season. This shit's about to happen more often. I'd like to apologize in advance. You come to the other two for marriage advice, and if you're trying not to be married, that's when you talk to me.
On that note,
I can get you out of it quick. I can help you get your credit score up, and I can make you single in hours.
those two may or may not be related.
In most cases, they are definitely related. Adam, you better end the show.
I'm trying.
You have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sandlot Sports.